Hi, I'm LP Master 6 and welcome to Let's Play Alleyway for the Game Boy. I am playing this on the Game Boy Player, and this is a very obscure game. And I'm just going to let it play out the demo like I usually do while I introduce this Breakout clone. Now, Nintendo wanted to make their own version of Breakout for some reason. You know, because alongside the other launch titles and early Game Boy titles like Super Mario Land, which is supposed to be, you know, simplistic like Mario 1, and then you got golf and I think tennis or baseball, games like that. They wanted to have another simple on-the-go game, so they ripped off another company's classic Atari game, which later, you know, spun off Arkanoid for the arcade, which is, according to all the critics, a better version of this game, even though it was released earlier. Arkanoid has power-ups and bosses. In this game, it has bricks that move, and it's got not much more, not many Nintendo-esque innovations. Bing! Boom! Now, I did not know during my Super Mario Land recording that you could do this little number here on the GameCube, just like you can on the Game Boy Advance. And I was wondering how to make the screen bigger, and now I feel stupid. So we're going to test out the nice widescreen variation, so I won't have any of those stupid black bars around the border. And in case you've never seen me before, I'm LP Master 6, and I'm Let's Playing every important Nintendo series game in order of release, starting with the Mario series, the Donkey Kong series, the Legend of Zelda series, and the Metroid series. And for my next Let's Play, it's a brand new series to the channel. But I don't know why the tint of this game on the Game Boy Player, for some reason you can't change the color palette like you can on the Super Game Boy. And this is a completely different one than on the GBA SP. This one's very yellowish green for some reason. And it makes it look like Luigi's the protagonist, but it's Mario. This is probably Mario's most obscure role as a hero. I mean, he's the protagonist. There's not really a villain. There's not really a story. So this has no place in the Mario lore. But basically, we're going to break some bricks. Now, take note of those Mario-esque bricks at the top of the screen. Those are not always there. So we'll learn more about that later. But this is it. This is all the gameplay. My biggest complaint about this game, while it is nice and fun and simple, is you don't have to have a very extravagant, over-the-top, new age game to be fun. I think the original Breakout is from '76, and this is '89, the launch of the Game Boy. So, I mean, it's been 13 years, and now 13 years is like, oh, it's a classic. Man, I remember playing that game as a kid. So I'm sure some people felt like that when this came out. I'm sure some people were still playing Arkanoid in the arcades, but this is Nintendo's version, which for some reason, even though Nintendo practically invented power-ups, they aren't using them. Of course, they didn't invent them. Pac-Man had them first, but I didn't sing to the music. There's no music in this game. That's my complaint. I can't stand that there's no music in this game. This is my first giant complaint with any game. Why? I can't remember who composed this game. It's a good composer. The bonus stages have music. The beginning has music, and whenever you clear a stage and whatever, there's little fanfares. Why are there only beeps and boops? I guess to add to the simplistic flavor, but you could have had music. Then again, I mean, I kind of see what they're going for. Well, they could have had like really simplistic music, because the Game Boy, like the NES, can only play a certain amount of tracks at a time. So whenever a sound effect pops up, it has to mute one of the tracks. So I guess that would have been awkward with all the beep boom beep beep boom going on here. Also, the blue blocks, the lightest are worth 1 point. The yellow are worth 2, and the green are worth 3. And all the stages come in sets of 3, pairs of 3. That's what I almost said. But I'm a perfect human being, so don't worry, I won't ever say that again. And the first one's just a regular break the bricks. The second one is a moving stage, as we're seeing here. And these are my favorite because they're the quickest. There are 24 stages in the game, so you kind of want it to go by quickly because it gets a little old. I mean, it's still fun, especially if you're like in the car and you're like, oh. I mean, I can imagine, especially in the 80s, like, you know, kind of like Computer Solitaire was for everybody back in the 90s, early 2000s. I mean, I imagine that was pretty fun. But now we're going to see the gimmick of the third stage in a set. Oh, I don't think I've ever made it past like 16 or 18, either because my Game Boy dies or I get a game over. But, ooh, I read in a review that it's one of these rare instances. There's the gimmick, the screen goes down. Sometimes that adds more blocks, but this time it just adds more bricks. And if you can beat the stage before more blocks show up, you know, you don't have to do them. And it doesn't kill you if blocks go to the bottom of the screen. It just off-screens the blocks. So you don't get points for them. Every 1,000 points, you get a 1-up, which is very useful. While this game is not exactly, you know, hard. I don't know how to describe the difficulty of this game, you know, because it's kind of like, oh, that was one of the... I did not like my serious tone of voice when I said that awful, nerdy sentence. I'm a loser. I'm sitting here playing a 70s concept of a game in my spare Saturday off of work. I keep asking for fewer hours at work, but like people are complaining that they want more hours, and I'm like, oh, I don't want more hours, but I keep getting more hours than they do. I'm like, oh, you can have some of my hours, but then that never goes anywhere. So hopefully I will have fewer hours soon. But that's, see, garbage like that can happen. There is a small-time glitch where your ball goes through the side of the paddle, but I've only seen that like twice. And I've been playing this every day since it came in. I bought it for like $8 and something after tax. Now here we go. This is the big selling point of the game probably. I bet it was on the back of the box art. It's, all the bonus stages are Mario sprites. Woohoo! I mean, sure, that's nice. They referencing pixel art, but, you know, this is still back in the 8-bit era, though. I mean, the song's not too, wowing, but it's nice. I'm really bad at the bonus stages. They can get you a lot of points, because obviously it's the same as the main game, but, you know, your block doesn't bounce off the bricks. It just destroys them. So they're nice, soft, pillowy bricks. I don't know why the game's called Alleyway, but, you know, if you like Breakout or Arkanoid, then this game's right up your alleyway. But I remember reading this in like little game facts guys. Like, have you guys ever seen the list of Mario endings FAQ and the little bonus guides on game facts for any Mario game? As a kid, I saw that and like saw Alleyway in the list, or on GameSpot, I would see Alleyway in the list of games, and I'd be like, wow, Mario had a cameo in that in one of the stages, and I was like, that's how I interpret it as a kid because I only read half of that, and I'm like, what kind of game is Alleyway? I thought it was like going to be some fighting game or some action game. And then I played it when I was playing through all the games, all the Mario games I possibly could. And there it is. Stage 4 introduces the ceiling. There are no power-ups in this game, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that simplicity. But it kind of does get on my nerves that there is a downgrade. There's like a poison mushroom, but no regular mushroom. Why? Because if you'll notice, you hit the ceiling and your paddle gets like half the size. Which isn't a huge nuisance, but it's still pretty annoying that, you can't hit the ceiling. You get punished for that. I really don't like to use that word. It gives me such sexual connotation because I was a pervert as a teenager. I've really matured into an adult. Why do people think like 18-year-olds and such are still like teenagers? They're really immature. I'm not like that. I sit at home. I have a job. I play very sophisticated games, such as retro 70s games. Now, what teenager is not playing Call of Duty? Well, look at me. I'm playing Alleyway. But I think I did play it in black and white because I didn't know how to activate Super Game Boy's colors on emulators some years ago. But I don't need an emulator for this. See, since I'm Let's Playing, I'm completing my collection of video games physically, for all American video games at least. And also, I suck at this game, in case you couldn't tell. I've never been good at these types of games. And most Let's Plays of this are pretty boring. There's one where there's a guy, I mean, he's not too terribly boring. He just spends the whole time complaining about the game, which is fine, actually. I find that kind of refreshing, because most of the time you hear people sing praise about a game, or like, well, the whole time. But this guy, he displayed the negatives of a game the whole time, and he still won't, like, played the game all the way through. Ooh, I was about to spoil the ending. Do-do-do-do. But I don't think I've ever actually beaten this game, and if I get a game over, I'm going to be very PO'd. I'm going to lose my ball. Should I tell that story again? Alright, so I was at the street dance in my hometown for our festival we have once a year, the first full week of October in Tennessee. I live in West Tennessee, 15 minutes now from my hometown because I moved from my big city apartment. But I still work in that big city. But anyway, so I'm hanging out with my friends, right? This is like in 10th grade, and I videotape everything in my life, where I used to before my hard drive failed and I lost 10 years worth of footage. My entire music library containing some rare unreleased music that got taken off the internet entirely for some reason. I can't find the original Nirvana or the Nevermind Sessions recording of Sappy by Nirvana anywhere on the internet anymore. It's not on YouTube. It got just destroyed, ripped apart whenever anybody tries to upload it. I have a copy of that song. At least that's not lost on my hard drive. But there's a lot of stuff like that I want back, but I can't have it back. Anyway, I've recorded everything in my life, and I'm hanging out with my friends at the street dance, and this girl, this idiot, walks up and says, "If I cannot find my ball, I'm going to be PO'd." Really angrily about a bouncy ball that she let somebody borrow, and she can't find it. And in the middle of the street that's blocked off for this street dance where they play country music, and she can't find her ball. Ooh, last year, the band that played at the street dance was the Double Edge Band. I don't remember what their music was like, but a good old Double Edge Band. I wish I had gotten into music more as a kid, too, because I got into music really late. I could have really used band in junior high or elementary school to my advantage and learned things, but nope. I still don't know. No, I can't recognize notes or pitches, like classic music stuff. I mean, I can almost play a guitar and I can play a bass, not very well, but I can play it. And I only know tabs. I need to be a traditional musician if I want to be able to write my own songs well, instead of just plucking strings and singing out of tune. I wish I could sing. I wish I could figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I wish I could quit Pizza Hut. I don't want a job. The creator of Stardew Valley, which I'm playing on a channel with my friends, and none of it's uploaded yet, it's called the Pizza Trio, and we're playing Stardew Valley. It's me and my roommates that are not my girlfriend. We all work at Pizza Hut, so we're called the Pizza Trio, and we each take turns picking a game. I did not pick Stardew Valley. I will only be picking Nintendo and Sims games, as that is all I play, except for Stardew Valley, but that is on a Nintendo console, so it counts. But please, we're playing it on the PC, the Windows, so I bought Sim Farm forever ago at Goodwill on their half off sale. So I got Sim Farm for 99 cents. And I'm a little frustrated because I can't get it to work. I download all these things to run MS-DOS games, but I still can't run SimFarm. But then I remember to have a floppy disk computer that I can just buy a CD, drive for. Love you, baby.
Love you.
Did you have fun writing your grocery list outside?
Yeah.
And if you guys hear that, that's a bunch of big old dogs roaming around. And if you heard the beep, 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 that was our stupid alarm system. Jake, please. Jake is our very long Doberman Pinscher. And we need to go get his nails trimmed. I was going to do it Wednesday. But my boss decided to steal that day from me by having to do management training at home. Serve safe training. If any of you work in the food safety industry on a bit higher up of a level, you know what I'm talking about. 8 hours or 6.5 hours of food safety training. Pretty dang annoying.